my channel. Merry Christmas. Today we'll be showing you how to do tear and share Christmas tree bread. So in this video I'll show you how to make pull and tear bread, but it's going to be a Christmas design. Okay, this bread is super easy. You are going to be able to do it with your eyes closed. Trust me, it's so easy. The recipe is the same recipe I used for my last bread. I'll put a link of that video below this video, and you can check it out. But that's crusty French bread. I baked that bread in a Dutch oven, but I won't be baking this in a Dutch oven. So let's get right into it. So into my bowl, I'm going to put 1 cup of lukewarm water, fast acting yeast. So into my bowl goes 7 grams of fast rising yeast. 1 teaspoon of white granulated sugar goes into the bowl. I'll just give that just a tiny bit of a shake, and I'll leave that for 5 minutes for the yeast to activate. So as you can see inside, the yeast is activated 5 minutes later, and you must see the foam, okay, or bubble. If you don't see that, then your yeast is bad. So in goes 1 teaspoon of salt. Then in goes my flour. So just plain flour. I'm not using bread flour or anything, so don't worry if you don't have bread flour. Just use normal plain flour. Put 2.5 cups of flour in there. That's 1 cup. Make sure your cup is level, because you don't want. That's 2 cups. And then I'll get a half. You can use the same cup and just measure half, but I'm just using my half cup. Okay, you just mix it in. It's going to be a loose dough, don't worry about it. You don't need a mixer, you don't need a whisk, you don't need anything. You don't even need a scale or anything. Just once it comes together, you leave it for 30 minutes to actually proof, because I used fast raising yeast. If I used normal yeast, then probably leave it for at least an hour. So that's it, it's come together. I'm just going to cover it up and keep it in somewhere that is room temperature. You can use a paper towel, a tea towel, cling film, or tin foil like I'm using. Just put it away for 30 minutes. So after 30 minutes, that's the bread dough has risen. I've got a helper here that has just turned up to help me with the rolling. She likes that part. So yeah, if you just bring out your dough, and you might need a little bit of flour for dusting, but it's not compulsory if you have a non-stick mat like mine. But I'll just put a little flour for dusting. Yeah. And then you're not kneading your dough. There's no point for this bread. I'm just trying to make a nice ball. Okay, so once you do the nice ball, put it into a ball. You cut it into 2, right, and 2 again. So we're trying to get 12 rolls. Yeah, so we get 2 and 2 again, right? That's a good way to get your quarters. So we've got 4 pieces, and we are going to, each of these 4 will divide into 3, okay, because we want 12 rolls. Okay, so you can just divide it randomly. You don't have to use a knife. So this is a small Christmas tree. You can double this recipe to get a bigger Christmas tree. We have a lot of bread at home, so I don't want to do a big one. So once you've got that, you just start rolling it into the shape of a ball. Okay, finish rolling up our bread. We've got 12 pieces, and we've got a little tiny piece I would like to use for a star. So the last time I did this bread, I used Camembert cheese because I love melted cheese with this bread. It works really well, but my children didn't really like Camembert cheese, so today I'll be using mozzarella cheese, and I'll bake it alongside the bread. But first of all, I want to create like a pocket for this cheese. I'll do like a triangle pocket, and that will be like the stand for the Christmas tree. So this will be like my template to form my triangle. So I've just folded foil paper 2 centimeter or 2.5 centimeter width, just normal tin foil, and I'll use that to wrap around this butter. You can use any rectangular shape you have. at home will give you the same thing. It doesn't have to be a butter tin. Okay, so once I do this, I can use a sellotape to stick both together, and then I'll have like that shape. That's what you're after, this rectangle. Okay, it's my rectangle shape. It's not really a perfect rectangle, but it will work, and that will be the bottom of my tree. Okay, so inside that I'm going to put mozzarella cheese. If you prefer cheddar cheese, go ahead and use cheddar. If you like the Camembert, like I said, I'll put a link. I'll put a picture of the Camembert cheese one we did last year, so that you can do it if you like. So as you can see, I have buttered my pan, and now I'll just start to layer my tree. I'll start kind of at the top. It doesn't really matter how you do it. So one at the top, then it's almost like you're trying to form a triangle. This time you're trying to make the shape of a triangle with your bread rolls. Okay, you can put them together, it doesn't matter, they will rise and expand. Jamie is trying to make a star to put at the top, but if you can manage that, that's good. Remember, you have to make sure your pan is buttered. So this one, it didn't fit, so I just tried to reduce it. The smaller the balls that you make, right, the dough balls, the smaller you make it, the quicker it's gonna be to cook in the oven. Okay,
I don't have enough to.
That's okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so we're just gonna make a 4-handed star for the top of the, just place it at the top here. Just me trying to be extra to give it that shine and give it some extra taste. I have just put crushed garlic or garlic paste or garlic granules, if you don't have crushed garlic, into 1 tablespoon of melted butter, and I'll just brush it on the bread, so it will taste almost like a garlic bread, but that buttery finish will give it some shine. Okay, and Jamie now will take some rosemary, so she will take some rosemary herbs and put in between the dough for me to make it look like an actual Christmas tree. If you don't have rosemary, if you have chive, if you just have parsley, you can use it too. It's just to add some green. My rosemary is not looking too green because I put it in the freezer to preserve it, so the color has changed a little bit. Jamie, go ahead, just look for any spaces in between and put the rosemary in. So it's almost ready. Make sure your oven is on while you're rolling the dough. I have put my oven on so that when I want to bake, it's going to be super fast, the baking process. So just put a lot of it to give it that nice smell. You can add some rosemary to your cheese as well. It just gives it the flavor, the Christmassy touch. Okay, and also the smell of Christmas, because rosemary is really associated with Christmas. Really, anywhere you see a hole, just put it in, because you can just chuck some rosemary into your mozzarella or your Camembert cheese or your cheddar cheese, whatever cheese you're using. Right, that's looking good. So that's it, ready to go in the oven. I'm going to put it in for 30 minutes in the oven. Might even be quicker, just for it. You just leave it there until it's golden brown. Okay. Right guys, this is the finished bread. Look at how gorgeous it looks. Can you believe we did this in just 1 hour 10 minutes, and it was so easy, the recipe, isn't it? You can double the recipe if you have a bigger family, or you can actually reduce it if you have a smaller family. It is so good. The smell of rosemary is just all over my kitchen. It smells like Christmas. And then freshly baked bread. Who wouldn't want to wake up to that in the morning? Christmas morning, you can try this on Christmas morning. You can try this for Christmas dinner. It can be a starter for your Christmas dinner. Also, it doesn't have to be a Christmas tree design. You can just make it a normal shape.
Or it could be like a star.
A star, you can do it even if it's not Christmas. You can just do this bread as a starter or as breakfast with any shape you like. It is gorgeous, and I can't wait to dig in. Nothing more indulgent than freshly baked bread dipped in melted cheese. I use mozzarella cheese, like I said, but you can use Camembert cheese or cheddar cheese, whatever you like. You can skip the cheese completely if you are dairy intolerant. Okay,
lactose intolerant.
lactose intolerant. So yeah, if you're lactose intolerant, you can skip the cheese completely. Yeah, if you're vegan, you can also skip the cheese as well. So you don't have to do the cheese, you don't have to make a Christmas tree, but this bread is a must. It's so easy, you can't make a mistake with the dough. Is so forgiving. Try this and let us know how you get on. Till next time, keep living, loving and laughing. Bye.
Just Jimmy, one more.
They say, how is it? Is it good? Oh, great.
Great.
Look at her stringy cheese. Well, we have Jamie here, and she's wearing what we're doing. Well, and put in between the ball, the dough for me, the balls, the small balls. Yeah.